안녕하세요 여러분, 저는 여러분의 한국어 친구 나탈리아입니다. Okay, so today I want to talk about how to set language goals. I think this topic isn't only important year-round, but it's especially important right now given the time of the year, which is January. I think we've all felt that that boost of motivation that comes when the year changes, right? We're thinking about all the things we want to accomplish for the new year. And sometimes, we forget that we have a life outside of our language studies. So we end up setting up or making goals for ourselves that are, very ambitious. So today I just wanted to share some tips on how to set language goals that are realistic and that you can actually achieve. So number one, and I'm sure you've heard it at the beginning of every motivation video you have ever watched or any article you've ever read, is to determine why you are setting these goals. So is it that you want to study abroad in the country that speaks your target language? Are you wanting to speak with relatives that only speak that target language? So just determine why you're doing why you want to do what you're saying you're going to do. Number two is to look at your goals, look at what you're planning on doing, and determining if they're realistic. Are they achievable? Do you have enough time to accomplish these goals? And I bring up time simply because a lot of us, we either work full-time or we're students and we have jobs or we have some kind of obligation that keeps us from just studying our target language all day long. So just look at your goals and determine for yourself, can I accomplish these goals this year? Number two, determine if they're realistic. Number three is to determine if these goals are specific enough, or rather, if they're not, make them specific. So consider what exactly you want to accomplish and kind of make them time-bound. So in my experience, when I have a time-bound goal, I'm far more likely to accomplish them just because I can see that deadline approaching and it's harder for me to justify not studying. Because when it's more of a vague timeline, I can easily say, I'll study tomorrow or next week or after my exam period or whatever, because, there's no timeline. I'm never failing to do what I said I was going to do. So instead of saying something like, this year I want to start learning Korean, say something like, by the end of the year, I want to be able to pass the TOEIC exam with a score of 1, or the equivalent of A1 in the European system. So yes, make your goals specific, know what you want to accomplish, and by when. And then number 4 is to basically take your large goal and break them down into large goals and break them down into smaller goals. So when you break them down into smaller goals, you're making, one, your goal is less intimidating. 2, you're giving yourself the opportunity to have mini victories, and mini victories will keep you motivated and help you track your progress towards achieving your bigger goal. So in terms of making your goal trackable, it allows you to make adjustments to the way you're studying or what you're doing if what you're doing isn't working. So if you have a goal to study 10 words every day, which that's a pretty popular goal, right? You can see, okay, so if you're keeping track in your bullet journal or if you're keeping track on your app or whatever, you can see, okay, so this week I only missed 2 days. Great. Or this week I didn't study at all. Maybe I need to learn words a different way because this way isn't working. It's boring or whatever. Another thing you could do in terms of making them smaller is if your goal is to learn enough Korean to travel by yourself by the end of the year, you could say, okay, in order to travel by myself, what do I need to accomplish? I'm going to need to be able to introduce myself, talk about directions, and those types of things. You say, okay, month 1, I'm going to learn Hangul. I am going to learn how to introduce myself, and I'm going to learn how to answer basic questions that I will be asked, such as, why are you studying Korean? Why are you in Korea? How long will you be in Korea? Then month 2 will be learning the different number systems, counters, and how to talk about prices. Month 3 will be learning how to order at a restaurant and addressing any food restrictions or allergies related topics. So Again, tip number 1 is to determine why you are setting up these goals for yourself. Number 2 is to make sure your goals are realistic. And number 3 is to make sure they are specific and time bound. And then number 4 is to break your goals down into smaller goals that allow you to track them, allow you to monitor what you are doing and see if it's working or not. And they give you the chance for those mini victories that keep you motivated. So that's all I've got for you guys today. I hope this was helpful, and if it was, I hope that you implement these tips and steps into your language goals for the year. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys, bye-bye.